baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, no.
I know what you're thinking, that this is just a show, but no. This is really what ice road truckers have to go through to get goods to places like this. If your heart didn't already skip a little, get ready for the other dangers that come ahead. What are the most horrifying roads that truckers have to pass? What kind of people even live in such remote locations? And how many truckers end up dying every year trying to deliver loads on the ice roads? This is the Kuskokwim ice road in Alaska. Try to guess what it's built on. This 355-mile-long road is a river. And not just any frozen river. In the winter, it becomes a full-on highway for trucks. Can you even imagine 80,000-pound trucks crossing over frozen water and not falling through? Well, this is the only way for the people of Napkiak to get food in the stores and other essential goods. But what kind of people even live in these villages? I mean, during the winter, it's minus 40 degrees outside. I bet you've heard of Eskimo people before. Or let's better call them Inuit people, because some consider the Eskimo term offensive. They are technically Native Americans which have lived in these villages for thousands of years. Before the ice roads were invented in 1960, the people from Napkiak relied on hunting, fishing, and gathering. To move around, they used dog sleds, and their houses looked like this. Today, they use snowmobiles for local transportation. They also have electricity in their houses, and their dog sleds are only used for competitions. During the spring, you can only get to Napkiak by boat or air because the road turns back into a river and there are no highways around. But I still can't believe that this river holds hundreds of trucks in the winter. And the craziest thing is that they use the 2 months winter season to secure the villages with goods for the whole year. Yes, you understood it correctly. They deliver everything needed for a full year in only 2 months. Why? Because it's cheaper to do so. The ice roads are also used for the transportation of heavy equipment to gold and diamond mines. Yes, that not only sounds terrifying, but it also looks scary. Just take a look at this.
A load over 90 tons is too heavy for just one truck. So the drivers use a tactic called push trucking.
I would never risk doing this, but believe me, for them it's worth it. In Canada, for example, diamond mines contributed $24 billion to the country's economy since 1996. And nearly $17 billion has gone towards the businesses in the Northwest Territories, while $7.5 billion to the companies owned by Indigenous people. And all of these benefits come from the creation of the ice roads. So it's clear why people work so hard to maintain them. They constantly add water to create thick layers of ice, and they constantly check the weather to avoid blizzards, whiteouts, and meltdowns when driving. The Kuskokwim River is not the most dangerous in the world by far, but the Tibbitt to Contwoyto is definitely in our top 3. This road literally lays 85% over frozen lakes. Think about it, a river has pretty much the same depth in the middle, so the ice has much more stability. Plus, because the water is constantly flowing, it helps to distribute the weight evenly over the surface of the ice. But have you ever tried to go on a frozen lake? Lakes tend to be deeper in the middle, but it's not as deep on the sides, so the ice can't be as thick there. Just imagine that your 80,000 pounds truck accidentally goes on the roadside of the lake and breaks the ice. This is exactly what happened in 2003 on the Tibbitt to Contwoyto ice road. A truck picked the wrong side and fell through the ice, which resulted in the driver's death. 20,000 liters of fuel spilled into the lake, causing lots of fish and animals to die as well. You could easily call this an environmental disaster, just like the Exxon Valdez oil spill in 1989. This was a very big mess because an oil tanker ship ran into a reef in Alaska and spilled millions of gallons of oil into the ocean. The spill killed thousands of seabirds, marine animals, and fish, and it had a devastating impact on the local ecosystem. The Dempster Highway is even more dangerous. It doesn't have as many lakes, but it's a 737-mile road full of icy terrain. If your speed is not just right, you risk being thrown off the road because of a slippery surface. Although the recommended speed limit is posted on signs all along the highway, it still varies a lot depending on the weather conditions. For example, the ice is more slippery in the morning when the sun has not had the chance to warm it up yet. So you might have to guess it a little and hope you get the speed right. If you go too slow on the icy hill, there is a big chance you'll slide back and not pass it. While if your speed is too big, you'll end up in a ditch hoping to get help. And let's just say that some drivers end up waiting for days before anyone comes for rescue. And the worst one is Kolyma Highway in Russia. It is literally called the Road of Bones. The legend says that the bones of the prisoners who built it are buried beneath the permafrost. But it's the most dangerous though because of its awful weather conditions. Blizzards, whiteouts, and truck breakdowns happen very often and could hurt a lot if not handled right. A lot of drivers that get stuck on the road because of a truck breakdown have to wait for days to get help to where they are located. If their fuel ends or their engine stops, they risk freezing to death before the help arrives. So why risk so many lives just to save money on transportation? Well, actually, it's me who chose the most horrifying stories. But if we were to look at the death rate for the ice roads, it will be only 1 or 2 people per year, while the death rate for regular truckers is about 10 people per year, which says a lot about how strict they are when letting someone on the road. Why become an ice road trucker? I mean, we've seen the dangers that come with the road, so why do it? A lot of you will say money, and it's true, ice road truckers do make anywhere from $40,000 to $80,000 for only 2 months of work. They literally make in one season what most people make in a year. But if you go into this industry just for the money, you'll quit right after the first try, just like the average 70% that join. To stay, you have to love the ice and want the adrenaline. Not everyone can become an ice road trucker. First of all, you must get special ice training to join on top of your CDL training, but also it's a very exclusive job. To get it, you should almost always know someone on the east side. And no, I'm not talking about getting in the show, I'm talking about the real job. But yes, there is a full show on this topic called The Ice Road Trucker, and it should definitely be watched.
The life of a trucker is awful lonely. It can ruin relationships. It can turn your life upside down. Throw me 100 miles of hell, and I'll take your load to the other end. I love that feeling of living on the edge. You come into this world with nothing. The only thing you leave with is your memories. I will remember this forever.
You know that feeling at a horror movie when your breath stops and your heart starts going really fast because you're afraid that something will happen to the character?
Hello?
Don't hang up.
Who are you?
Well, it's the same here. You're constantly keeping your fingers crossed and hoping that the ice doesn't break underneath the truck. Just take a look at this.
Traffic on this road is definitely taking its toll. It's starting to be like big sinkholes in it now. Like it's starting to fall all the way through.
the ice begins to splinter.
Yeah, it's growing in. It's not liking it today.
In case rigs break through,
It's loud!
drivers keep their doors open for a quick escape.
Man, it is cracking. It's something fierce. I can't go any slower. Oh my gosh!
And if you want to go to the extremes, there is even a movie on this topic called The Ice Road with Liam Neeson. If you like anything from Fast and Furious to movies with Jason Statham, I am sure you'll enjoy this one as well. Besides having the right training to join, ice road drivers should always be prepared for the road. Even choosing the sleeping bag can be a really big challenge. I mean, it is minus 40 degrees outside, you better choose the right one. Also, drivers should always have extra fuel and extra food on the road. There is a rule that a lot of people in the north might be familiar with. Never turn your engine off at temperatures like this. After 10 minutes, you won't be able to turn it back on. I wonder how people in the big cities of Canada handle this rule when the temperatures get as low as minus 30 outside. Well, let's just say that it's normal to buy an engine heater there and to wait a while before driving. So get used to losing that extra 30 minutes of sleep in the morning if you live in a region like that. If you do get stuck, that's where food is a must. Sometimes drivers that are stuck on the road wait for days. And you can't even leave your truck and go look for help because it's full of wild animals out there. Did I forget anything? Yeah, a driver should always have a full set of tools on him and not only have them, but also know how to fix his truck on his own and fix it fast. Don't expect to see any mechanic shops in the ice desert. How do drivers know the road through the icy desert? How do they know what weather to expect and how do they ask for help when it's needed? Specialized truck dispatchers. They are essential to ice road truckers. If a regular trucker in the US can choose whether to have a dispatch service or not, on the ice road they don't have an option. Dispatchers check the weather, guide drivers through the best roads, and are trained to react to emergencies. They also collaborate with mechanics, safety managers, as well as use special tools and resources like satellite phones, weather radar, and real-time data from other drivers. You could easily say that ice road truck dispatchers are responsible for their drivers' lives. One mistake could literally kill someone. And yes, they do require extra training as well as experience in dispatch, but without them, I am sure we would have seen a lot more fatalities on the road. But of course, with great responsibilities come great payoffs. If usually truck dispatchers make up to $100,000 a year, on ice roads, they get to earn 20% more, which is between $120,000 to even $150,000 sometimes. Plus, you get to handle everything from your home just like regular dispatchers. So basically, you could be called the remote hero. If you're interested in the job, check out our truck dispatcher course link in the description. Even if it's a course for dispatching ordinary trucks, you still must take the basic training first. And with our practice model, you'll be able to get the needed experience and be a step closer to the ice road dispatch career. Then you just have to learn the ice road particularities and you're good to go. So is it worth becoming an ice road trucker? If you genuinely love the ice and the adrenaline, yes. And the money is definitely a great bonus as well. The drivers that go there have built really strong bonds with the people they're helping. They are expected with joy every year and are literally called heroes. And if you're still afraid of the ice but want to help in a way, becoming a dispatcher would be the other option. You could be the remote saver, which is as important when your trike breaks down on the road and someone has to call for help. Now, tell me, what do you think the future of ice road trucking will look like? Will we have flying trucks, or will people find a way to build real highways in these territories? And if you're interested in seeing the whole timeline of the transportation industry, from horse-drawn carriages to self-driving trucks, watch this video.